everyone, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video I'm going to be showing my completed pages for the month of December. I had a bit more time to colour this month because of the Christmas holidays. I managed to complete 4 full pictures and I also have a WIP to share with you, and I'm really happy with all of them. This video will be going up a little bit later than usual just because I've had all my completed pages for 2021 videos going up on the 1st and 2nd of January. But I will be putting a schedule in those videos to share when my videos will be up, because usually I would have my completed pages up on the 1st of every month. So I've just had to do a bit of tweaking. I hope that's all right, but you're still getting a completed pages video on the 1st and an extra as well. So yeah, I hope that makes up for it. So yeah, let's just get started. I'm just going to move these out of the way. And a page I did actually complete that I didn't mention, or I can't show you, is the butterfly for the Travelling Ivy and the Inky Butterfly PDF that I was doing that Yvonne sent me. I did complete that and it was very similar to, well, in fact exactly the same as the butterfly that I did in Ivy and Inky Butterfly, my new version. So it was blue, purple going into orange and yellow, and I've shown that many times in my videos. So yeah, that was really fun to do and I was glad to get that done. I did share it in my What's in My Colouring Bag video for the month of December, and I was really hoping to complete that and send it off to her, and that was actually the first thing that I did. And I did manage to complete it in early December so that I could send it off to her in good time before Christmas. So yeah, I technically did complete 5 actually. The first page I want to share with you is from Fairy Celebrations by Clara Markova. And I completed my buddy colour page with Effie. This was also for her Christmas colour along. I did have another buddy colour that Jill and I were going to do in this book, and we've actually decided to do one from Mythographic Paradise instead. So it meant that I didn't have to feel the need to rush this just to start the other one. So this one was all Prismacolor, and the embellishments that I used were a neon gel pen, a clear Jolly Roll Stardust, a glaze pen, Arteza white gel pen, and also quite a few of the Grey paint pens. So because I used my Derwent blender pens, these pens here, to blend the background and some of the red, it did go through. I'm not sure why. It must be something to do with the solution that's in the pens. It doesn't really bother me. It didn't go through that much, but you can kind of see, I mean, it's more of a shadowing rather than completely going through. But the red especially kind of turned a pink colour. It doesn't show up very well on camera. But anyway, yeah, that doesn't really bother me. So yeah, this was done quite quickly actually. I did a bit of it. I think the snow, the background, the chest, left it for a bit and then suddenly just completed it. And I think I was saying to Effie actually, with a detailed page like this, once I get stuck into it, I just really want to finish it. So yeah, I'm just pleased that I didn't rush it, because there was a point where I was like, yes, I'm going to be able to do it. And I just was conscious that I didn't want to rush it. I did also colour the chest top, and what both of us have decided to do is to just colour that and leave it, because otherwise we'll end up with an indentation when and if I, you know, get to this page. So yeah, I thought that was a smart idea to do that, and Effie suggested that, because originally I didn't quite know if I was going to do it or not, but I think it looks great without it for the moment. And yeah, I think I already mentioned it was all Prismacolor pencil, and yeah, I just had a lot of fun adding various embellishments to it. So yeah, this was a really fun one, probably the most detailed picture I did this month. Not sure if you can see. The snow probably doesn't show up that well because it's quite white, but I did put shadows in with the pencils. And overall with this, I was just trying to, use some different colours and do the brighter red, because that's something that usually I would stray away from. But in my other pictures, I mean, even here I haven't really used red, I've used dark pink. And here it's quite light. This was the first page that I did, and there's definitely things that I would change about this page, and you know, if I went back to it. So yeah, it was interesting to play around with the colours that I was using and just have fun. And using Prismacolor as well just speeds up the process anyway, but that didn't really bother me. I wasn't rushing to get it done. The Gravy White paint pen actually worked very well as well. I used that quite a lot in conjunction with the Arteza White gel pen. So yeah, both of them worked really well. So that was my first page. These are all wintry and Christmas themed as well. Seeing as it was December, I just wanted to try and get as many of them done as I could. So this is the Forest Girl colouring book. This is the second book in the series, and it's the premium edition with watercolour paper and hardback cover, which I love. And originally when I got this book, I did a small tester with the watered down watercolour brush pens, and I thought that when I coloured my page I'd just be able to do this, and I really liked the effect that it gave just using the watercolour brush pens. But I did a base of some things and realised that for the particular page I probably wouldn't be able to get the depth I wanted to just with the watercolour. So I did end up going over with pencil, and I'm really glad I did. So this was the page, and I tried to follow the example given as much as possible. This is the tree colour combination. I've already mentioned this in another video. These are Arteza pencils. So yeah, I tried to follow it as much as possible, and again, having that pre-made colour palette also really helps. It's just in frame, yeah, I'm just making sure you can see it all. So yeah, this was a base of the watercolour, just brush pens watered down, which was fun to try out for everything pretty much. And then I went over with Arteza pencils, just used those, and again, using those pencils because they are waxy, and I did kind of burnish with them, that sped up the process of doing this. I did complete this very quickly when I started it. Initially I thought, oh yeah, I'm not going to get it done that quickly, but once I did the background and the tree, everything else was very easy to do. The background was soft pastel. I wanted to get that watercolory look without using watercolour, because I knew on a big area like this it wouldn't probably work the best because I'm not very experienced with watercolour. But yeah, again, I had loads of fun doing this. I used the Gravy acrylic paint markers as well for all of this to add the like dusty effect on the tree. I love the tree. I'm so thrilled with it. I used the black as well for the skirt, so I added this design in like it's shown here, so I had to draw in all the lines and things. On here I added in all of the decoration as well, so, and the stocking and things like that, so quite a lot of it required me to add a few bits to it, which was really fun. I'm trying to think what else I used in terms of embellishments. I think that might have been it, because I didn't use any glitter. I wanted to keep it really true to what this one was, and actually I think I will do that throughout the book because I love just the overall colour palette. It's quite muted, but at the same time some lovely brights, lovely colours. So I'm just so happy I managed to get to this one, because this was one I was dying to do. This was one of my favourite pages out of the book, and it's one of the very few Christmas pages actually, because there is one here, but I didn't want to tackle this one because this was very detailed. And I guess you could class this one, this reminds me of the snowman so much. I am intimidated by this one though, because you'd have to draw in all of the patterns, because I want to try and do it realistically. So I wanted to go with one of the more simple ones. And so yeah, I was scared to do it because it was one of my favourites, but I'm so glad that I did it. And I started it in October and just did the base and then came back to it. So yeah, again, a really fun one. Quite a limited colour palette actually when I broke it down and did it colour by colour. So once I'd done the background, I did all the green and then sort of, I think, doing all the red and the pink and then the girl. Yeah, so much fun. And I love the cute dog and the squirrel as well. Adorable. So yeah, another lovely page. I was glad to get to that because that's my first page done in that book. Then I've got page from Die Welt unter der Lupe Zeelander by Rita Berman, and again, you've probably seen this one. I've shown these in various videos. These are in my All My Completed Pages videos. I'm pretty sure it's all. These are also in my book purchases of 2021 videos. So this one was Black Widow pencil. I used a lot of the new Dragon pencils. So background was the Storm Grey colour. And I think I used a couple of the greens as well. So for this one, it was just the Black Widow pencils and a few fine liners for the red here. And also a fine liner for the snow. So for the snow, I coloured it normally with a few light blues and greys, and it's really not showing up well on camera. I apologise. And then I went over with pointillism with white gel pen, which took such a long time. But I'm glad I took the time to do it because I love the effect. And then I also did some pointillism with a fine liner just to add a bit of shadow. I'm not sure if you can see here. Because there's a hill here and then there's a hill behind, so I just wanted to make sure that you could see the difference between them. I used white gel pen throughout this page. I mean, there's a lot. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's some here on these dots, on the moon. The moon has white gel pen, and actually I've added these stars and things in. But also I've used my favourite glittery paint, my Stardust paint, for the little mistletoe berries and the moon as well. So there were some new colour combinations that I was playing around with here. The main one was this leaf colour, because usually I go for brights or more muted olive greens. So this one was actually more of a teal one. Really liked it. So again, just one that I had wanted to get to for a while in this book. This was one that I had always looked at and thought, yeah, I want to do that. And initially when I started this page, I didn't realise that the colour palette would turn out like this. I don't know what I thought it would be instead. Maybe I thought I would do it purple. Yeah, maybe purple instead of the blues. But once I started doing the sky, I just thought, no, I really, really like this. So this was, again, this is kind of a colour palette that I wouldn't usually go for, I guess, putting these together. But I'm just so happy with it. And especially since I've got the neutral colour of the grey for the bunny, the hair. I'm not sure what it is. I think for me, I just really like how it came out. And I'm so happy to have done another one in this. I mentioned in my What's in My Colouring Bag video, it was a tie between this one and a wreath in the winter book. But I hadn't come to this book for a while. The last one I did was this one that I did in the summer. And I just thought, yeah, I want to do another one in here. This is one that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And it means now that I can hopefully do a winter page in the winter book in January or February. And because there are lots, I mean, this is a winter page, but there are lots of winter pages in that book as well that aren't specifically Christmas. So this was more of a winter page rather than a Christmas page like the Christmas tree one I did. So it was really lovely to do. And yeah, I've added lots of white gel pen. So many little things that I did on this one. It's just, yeah, so happy with it. Sorry if you can hear the washing machine in the background, by the way. I never know whether you can hear it because the phone's quite good at picking up sound. But yeah, I'm not sure, so I apologise if you can. And then I did manage to get to a postcard from I Believe in Fairies by Clara Markova. So I've done lots of Clara Markova and Reese Berman this month. I wasn't expecting to get to this one, but I really wanted to do it, and I had time. I did start this as well. This was the freebie from Clara Markova. It was just a tester. I wasn't really planning on finishing it. But this I printed onto a kind of toned tanned card colour, and I was just using Prismacolor and seeing how it turned out. And I do like how it turned out. I just don't really like burnishing too much, especially with this background. It's just not, I mean, it was fun to try, but it's just not my preferred method, I guess. But yeah, it was really interesting to try. I think the snow turned out quite well. But you can still get that on her website. And yeah, that was very generous of her to do that for us this year. The one I've done is this one. So this is the Winter Fairy, I've called her. So I actually completed this today. I had a few embellishments to do today on this one. This was Holbein and Kohinoor Polycolour. So I have a 24 set of like skin tone, or it's a portrait set, I think. So it had some really good browns which I use for the hair. I really like them because they're good for realism, and especially since I wanted kind of a brown like this, which I could have used my Holbeins with, but I just wanted to kind of use those pencils. And I used them various other places as well. The red, there was a really good red in the set. The set has a purple, a blue and a green, which I'm guessing could either be used as shadow colours or they're meant to be for parts of the face. So, you know, like lipstick or eyes. So I did use the purple and the green, and then, yeah, various other colours. So for her skin I added blush as well. Did more of a tanned colour. I used some ochre colours, which might be quite hard to tell on camera. Yeah, and then the majority of it was Holbein. So I used Holbein for the background. This is a similar kind of colour scheme that I used for the background in my, oh, which one was it? The Halloween Caramel Cover Double Spread, I think. Except I added blue. And I just kind of searched up a horizon wintry sky. And yeah, and the snow was slightly different to what I've done in my other Clara page, because obviously I'm using different pencils. So this one, I knew I wanted to have a kind of different background, because I could have done a blue background, but I wanted to do something, yeah, a bit different, and something that was totally different from the actual fairy, because I knew that I wanted the fairy to be red and green. So obviously we've got the holly and the green here, but she's, you know, she's wearing a red dress, because I kind of imagined her as like Mrs. Claus. The difficult thing about this was trying to make the trim of the dress look different from the snow. And I'm not sure how well it's showing up. I may possibly need to go in and add more shadow, but the way I did it was quite a long process actually. I coloured it normally, added all of these lines in with white gel pen, and then went over a few of the lines with Jelly Roll Glaze. And then the outline here, I did an outline of white on the top bit, but I did an outline of blue gel pen. And then I went over with the blue gel pen with white before it had dried. So it's kind of a light blue effect. I added more shadow with a grey fine liner and grey pencil underneath. And yeah, I'm pleased with it. I did go over the outline of her dress with a black fine liner because it just wasn't quite popping off the page as much. The flower here, I took it as a red anemone and added some purple, so it was a little bit of a darker red than what's on her dress. I mean, it could have been quite a few things, but I just decided to do it like that, and I didn't want to add another colour, so that's why I went for a red one. The berries are more of a pinkish red, so again, they're different, but you know, the main part of it is red, and I've kind of added the pink as well in the background, the pink here, so it's kind of all spread out. And yeah, I'm really pleased with it. And embellishments wise, this has quite a few of the gel pens, so this background added like swirly effects with white gel pen and then pink and orange neon gel pens. This star, I just kind of made the Star of Bethlehem and added the Stardust paint on top of the white gel pen in neon orange. And I've done a little kind of trail of dots on it as if it's moving. What else did I do? I used the Stardust paint again on these wings. The wings were the last thing that I did, and I found a really cool reference photo of some handmade like, fairy wings on Etsy. I just searched up fairy wings, I think, or translucent ones, because I wanted a colour that was already on the page. Didn't want to do pink because I've got pink in the background, and I didn't want to do a dark green like the holly that I'd already used. So yeah, this just seemed to work for me personally. I don't know if you thought any other specific colour would have worked. I'd be interested to know. But yeah, decided to go for that, something a bit different. And also I took them as kind of leaf wings as well, so you know, they're kind of a greeny blue, you know, like a leaf. So yeah, I used the Stardust paint, white gel pen, and 2 layers of the Jelly Roll glaze as well, because I like to do that so that they're a bit more bold. And then yeah, just used the Stardust paint at various other places. I used a Calero Rose paint just on the hearts here and up there. So yeah, just tiny details, the details of what take a long time. I was just very, very pleased with how that one came out. And now it's next to all of my other completed ones. For those of you who have watched my other videos, this is something that I'm focusing on for 2022. I've completed 11 out of the 32 so far. I'm planning on doing a video when I've done 16 of them, because then I'll be 50% done, which may be for a while. Probably don't expect that for another 6 months or so. But yeah, I'm really hoping to try and do one a month. I'm focusing on this and Minorizer de Europa for the month of, well, not the month of, sorry, for the year 2022 and beyond, until they're hopefully completed one day. They won't be completed in the year, but they're the ones I just want to focus on. So yes, very happy with that, and so pleased that I've actually managed to get round to it. Sorry about that, I just had to take a sip of water. So the whip I've got is in Minorizer de Europa by Rita Berman, and this is it. So I have really not started it that much, but this one is going to be exactly the same colour scheme as this page. Hi everyone, I just wanted to add in here that I did actually manage to finish this page that I was talking about. I was quite surprised that once I got started with it, it really didn't take that long. So I've used exactly the same colours as the wreath, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. Once I'd done the background and blended them, which I'd pretty much done already in the clip that you've seen from the video, lots of it just didn't take that long. It's a couple of days later, and as I mentioned, I did film my completed pages video early anyway. So yeah, it was nice that I did manage to complete this. So I've used Luminance and Black Widow pencils, and then also a gold Jelly Roll metallic, a bronze Uniball Signo metallic, and an Arteza white gel pen and a 0.1 Staedtler pigment liner. I really like the ladybird here. I added white gel pen on the outside of the dots and then went back in with black so that it looked like the circles here, which were already there on the wreath. So yeah, I'm really pleased that I managed to do this and complete it, because that is an extra page now for the month. The other thing that I used was Jelly Roll glaze. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how they both look as a double spread, and I'm glad that I managed to find what the colour combinations were, because I'm not sure if I mentioned or not, but I lost the sheet with the colour combinations that I used. But luckily I'd kept the pencils aside and it was fairly easy to just work out what was what. So that was good. But yeah, back to the video. So yeah, that's that one, and I'm using Black Widows and Caran d'Ache Luminance for that. So that's everything that I have to share with you. I'm very pleased with what I did manage to complete, and you know, 4's good for me. That's the amount I always hope to get done, and technically I did 5 because of the Ivy page as well. So yeah, I'm very happy with that, and to say that as well, that I've done wintry and Christmas pages for the season, I'm very, very pleased about that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you had a lovely New Year and Christmas if you celebrate. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Take care everyone. Bye!